Now on 4 News Now at 6, the Coeur d'Alene School District is asking voters to approve 2 levies, what the money would be used for, and how much you can expect to pay.
We have another round of snow on the way. I'll let you know how much we are going to get and how it's going to impact your morning commute.
And law enforcement in Idaho want to make sure the roads are safe, what they're doing to crack down on aggressive driving. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
These levies are really necessary, right? We're not going out and asking for things that we really don't need. We are really asking to continue to be funded for the work that we are doing.
Coeur d'Alene Public Schools says it's at risk of losing more than 250 employees if voters don't pass 2 levies. One would go to safety and maintenance projects at $5 million a year over 5 years. The other is a forever $25 million supplemental levy. If both passed, it would cost taxpayers with a $500,000 home about $138 a year. Voters will have the final say March 14th. Vanessa Perez breaks down where exactly the funds will go.
The district says the 2 levies provide critical funding. Without them, there could be cuts to school resource officers, administrators, extracurricular activities, and more.
Life for our students would be a lot different than it looks today, and that would be really unfortunate for our students.
The supplemental levy makes up 25% of the operating budget. Money goes to areas the state doesn't pay for, like sports programs, school resource officers, nurses, choir, elementary electives, and more. If the levy is voted down, class sizes could get bigger.
Very stressful on the educational system and our staff to wonder whether or not the levy is going to pass or not, wonder if they've got a job. Our parents and our students wonder if programs are going to be around or not, and so this will create that stability that is so much needed in our school system.
A group is calling for the school district to live within its means. Flyers show it's backed by Awesome Sauce Super PAC. The treasurer is a woman who was sued by a drag queen for defamation last summer. The group claims the district is asking for more money on top of Governor Brad Little's $330 million he designated to schools statewide. The school district says there is no guarantee they'll receive the money.
That groups are out spreading, lies and disinformation. That's not right. I believe personally, that just kind of blurs the process. It doesn't help people have a clear understanding.
The district is also asking voters to pass the school plant facility levy. It says it's $100 million behind on taking care of buildings. Some buildings as old as 30 years.
A lot of things that are coming due. So we have roofs, HVAC systems, parking lots, and then just some significant maintenance items on those schools that come due over those years of bringing kids in and out of school every day.
It would also fix roofs and add more security cameras. Voters will decide on what the district says is needed funding March 14th. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Might need to break out the ice scrapers once again. We have another round of snow on the way. We'll send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see how much.
Well, enough to cause some problems on the morning commute because it doesn't take much, and we will just have some very light snow around the region moving in overnight. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Now, if you're heading to the west over the Cascade Passes, that's another story. You're going to run into some very heavy snow there, but what we are expecting by the morning commute around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene will be much less significant. Here's a look at our forecast snow. It's going to start developing in the very early morning hours around the region, and most locations around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area will have less than an inch, considerably less than an inch by the time the morning commute is underway. Now that is going to continue to pile up through the morning, and some locations we are under a winter weather advisory for the Northeast Mountains and North Idaho. Goes into effect at 4 in the morning and continues until noon for 1 to 3 inches of snow. Right around Coeur d'Alene, we're going to see a little more snow than in Spokane. Could get up to 2 inches by noon, but then we warm up above freezing, well above freezing with gusty winds, and so we'll do some melting. Meanwhile, the central panhandle, the snow is going to continue. Goes all the way until 7 o'clock Friday, the winter weather advisory for some considerable snow in the mountains, up to 14 inches. Your planner for tomorrow, wet weather to start the day, non-accumulating snow as we get into the afternoon, or rain snow mix. Might even see some graupel high temperature of 40 degrees. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Chris, thank you. Also breaking tonight, a Spokane man is in jail for allegedly killing a woman in Northern California in the 70s. Police say they tested an old rape kit that connects 63-year-old Harold Carpenter to the murder of a woman in South Lake Tahoe back in 1979. The reason investigators had the rape kit on hand was because Carpenter was accused of attacking a woman in the 1990s, but that case was suspended and the kit was placed in evidence. Fast forward to last July when the kit was tested. Carpenter's DNA came up as a match in both cases. He's now pending extradition back to California. The man accused of killing his girlfriend last summer is back in Spokane and appeared in court today. In July, 29-year-old Corbin Hood called police to report he'd found his girlfriend dead in a house near Boone and Cedar. In November, the medical examiner ruled the death a homicide. Investigators tracked him down to a corrections facility in Florida. Hood is charged with second-degree murder. New information tonight in the details of a death in Reardon. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. That is what we are now learning a teen said to 15-year-old Shadrach Hall Turner in Reardon last week. This is video from the scene that night. According to a probable cause affidavit, a group of teens were playing video games at a house not far from Reardon High School last Thursday afternoon. One of those teens took a gun from his grandmother's house and it was being handed back and forth. That's according to court documents. At one point, the boys heard a pop and heard Turner Hall say, "Dude, you shot me," followed by a 16-year-old saying, "I didn't mean to," and apologizing. That teen was arrested for manslaughter and unlawful possession of a gun. Right now, 4 News Now is not naming the teen accused in this shooting, although he was in adult Superior Court for his first appearance this week. There's a possibility that his case may be transferred to juvenile court later. 4 News Now names minors in rare cases, including violent crime that endangered the public. We have more details on what happened the day of the shooting from these court documents. You can find the article on our website, KXLY.com. Pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly is capping the out-of-pocket cost of its insulin at $36. As of May 1st, Lilly is also reducing the list price of its non-branded insulin to $25 a vial. Right now, it's listed at $82 a vial.
We're calling today on our partners in the insurance industry, government policymakers, employers who set the policy for their own insurance to match this.
Although insulin is relatively inexpensive to manufacture, the cost has been rising for years. The American Diabetes Association says the average price of insulin nearly tripled between 2002 and 2013. Demand has increased as diabetes becomes the fastest growing chronic disease in the world.
A lot of times too is you'll get the cars that kind of speed off. So he's not really slowing down yet. So now he's like, oh, now I'm getting stopped.
Over the next several weeks, those traffic stops will be happening much more frequently. Thanks to a grant from the Idaho Transportation Department, law enforcement agencies across North Idaho now have the opportunity to get more officers on the roads. It's an effort to increase awareness ahead of a holiday that notoriously becomes problematic for community safety on the roads. Emily Bloom tells us what to expect.
As you travel through Idaho over the next several weeks, you'll see more officers out on the road than usual, and they're looking for aggressive driving.
Normally this time of year, we see an increase in traffic. People are getting a little bit antsy, wanting to get back out on the roads.
As the weather improves, slowly but surely, people are ready to get out. Meanwhile, the sheriff's office is preparing now for St. Patrick's Day a few weeks out.
Our goal isn't to write tickets. Our goal is to educate the public to drive safer. If we could do that without pulling people over and writing tickets, I would call that a win.
Right now, they're after aggressive driving, speeding, tailgating, and following too closely, to name just a few. And with more complaints about racing recently, they're focusing on that too.
Somebody running a stop sign, which this is very common, or failing to yield for traffic that's already maintained the right-of-way or the roadway, very common. That will cause an accident.
During my time out there, a truck was pulled over for going 10 miles per hour over the speed limit.
Not really slowing down yet, so now he's like, oh, now I'm getting stopped.
It's always left to the officer's discretion whether to cite someone, and a lot of factors go into making that decision.
There's primary collision factors for crashes, and so that's what I try to enforce the most, is because somebody's registration's expired is not going to cause a traffic collision.
In this instance, the guy was let off with a warning.
With the incoming storm that is projected for tomorrow, we're going to have slick roads again, hopefully the last time for the year, but just drive safe, allow some extra space cushion between you and the car in front of you, and keep your speeds at a reasonable rate.
Now, through the 11th of March, officers have a focus on aggressive driving. By St. Patty's Day holiday, the North Idaho DUI Task Force will be present. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.
Spring is just a few weeks away, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Meteorologist Matt Gray explains why you shouldn't expect temperatures to rise anytime soon. And right now, high school basketball teams from small towns across Washington are battling it out to become state champions. We'll take you inside the Spokane Arena to learn about one local team trying to earn their first championship. That's coming up.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Transitions works to end poverty and homelessness for women and children in Spokane.
Transitions moves lives forward by providing real change through programs like housing, job training, and safe spaces of welcome, respect, and community.
New America Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Transitions as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
It's one of the most remarkable shows in musical theater history. Dear Evan Hansen, the winner of 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. Dear Evan Hansen comes to Spokane this March. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com for your tickets.
Did you know that Banner Furnace and Fuel is a locally owned propane company? That's important because it means consistent pricing. No games, no gimmicks, and no hidden fees. You can relax knowing that a propane quote from Banner is what shows up on your bill. No hazmat fee and no delivery fee. That's why people really trust Banner. So go ahead, compare your winter heat bill, and then call Banner for your propane quote. Banner Furnace and Fuel, locally owned for over 90 years.
Coeur d'Alene Casino is celebrating 30 years and counting more than
200,000 bingo,
300,000 rounds of golf,
38,000 spa services,
1.3 million hamburgers sold,
4,000 concerts, promotions, and events,
plus 3 $1 million jackpot winners.
And now, join us for our $300,000 anniversary giveaway. $60,000 will be given away each Friday in March. See casino for details.
Happy 30th anniversary. Welcome home.
Next, E.T., our certified country exclusive with Blake Shelton.
How much do you miss Gwen and the boys when you're out on the road?
It's terrible. The whole reason I'm even stepping away from The Voice is so I can just be there more.
Ben.
Go to work.
Okay. True Lies 2.0, only we're with the stars of the new drama, plus advice from Jamie Lee Curtis.
Elbows, knees, shoulders, head up.
Next, E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
New at 6 o'clock, stargazers will get a chance to see what astronomers call a conjunction as Venus and Jupiter pass each other. The 2 planets are going to appear so close to one another, some are calling it a kiss. In reality, the closest they'll come from our perspective is about the diameter of a full moon apart. The best time to see it will be in the next hour, kind of. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker here. Chris, I don't have a lot of confidence. I mean, some of the sky cam shows a little bit of clearing skies, but
there is. But it would be like right in here, and these clouds are moving in, not moving out. But you may get a break in the overcast. It'd be worth looking, that is for sure. But it is mostly cloudy in Coeur d'Alene right now, 31 degrees, 33 in Spokane with overcast conditions. And those clouds do mean business. We have some light snow moving in tonight, 28 degrees for an overnight low, a full 10 degrees warmer than last night. We dropped down into the teens. Winds will begin picking up with gusts to 20 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. Those winds peak with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Snow turning into more of a rain-snow mix possibly some graupel and non-accumulating snow as we get into the morning, because we are heading up into the 40-degree range. Here's a look at our forecast radar showing that snow moving through the Columbia Basin and into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area in the early morning hours. Terrible timing for the morning commute. There won't be much by the time you hit the road tomorrow morning to work and school, but enough to make those roads even more slick than they already are. 8 o'clock tomorrow, we still have the snow in progress, but as we warm up and we're so late in the season, the sun angle is such that we will have a difficult time accumulating any snow as we get into mid-morning. Here's 6 o'clock in the evening with some leftover showers falling in a variety of forms. It's going to feel a little more like those spring showers as we get into the afternoon behind the front. And with those gusty winds, temperatures above freezing, we may actually lose more snow than we put down tomorrow. Then we move ahead to the forecast of what kind of snow totals we can expect by the morning commute. Less than an inch in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Here's 6 a.m. We'll see the heavier totals in North Idaho, where the snow will persist and the temperatures will be a little bit cooler. Sandpoint, one of the areas where we're going to see the heavier snow. And as I mentioned earlier, if you are headed over the Cascade Passes, you are going to run into some very heavy snow there with winter storm warnings in effect. Winds will be peaking in the afternoon. These are sustained winds, but it is going to be at least a breezy day all the way through tomorrow evening, and a breezy Friday as well. Overnight lows tonight will be down below freezing in all locations, maybe Lewiston staying at 32. High temperatures tomorrow below average, but closer to average. 40 in Spokane, 38 degrees in Coeur d'Alene, only 35 in Sandpoint, but 45 in Ritzville, and almost 50 degrees in Moses Lake. Your planning forecast, a slight chance of lingering showers on Friday. Most likely that snow will stay in the mountains. 20% chance of snow also on Saturday. Temperatures for highs staying below average. Our average high is in the mid-40s now, and overnight lows will be down below freezing, well below freezing throughout the 7-day forecast. So I think every morning we are going to be dealing with some slick spots on the roads, some windows to scrape, and not many signs of spring in the 7-day forecast. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. Even with the planets aligning, the chance for some early spring weather, not looking too good. Our weather team is calling for more chilly temperatures for most of the month. New at 6, meteorologist Matt Gray explains what's behind this prediction. Matt?
Yeah, Aaron, I think we got to call on some different planets if we want some warmer weather. When you look at the forecast, as Chris just showed you, it doesn't seem all that cold after what happened last week, down in those single digits, but as she said, our highs usually be in the mid-40s at the start of March. By the end of March, they're up into the 50s on average. Right now, though, we think most of March is going to end up on the cold side, and here's why. Let's go back in time. Let's go back 2 weeks. A story we showed you here on 4 News Now, a burst of warmth reaching up to the polar vortex in the stratosphere, and it really ended up weakening it. And at the time, I told you all that because of this, colder weather was probably on the way, and not just for a week, but perhaps for multiple weeks of pretty active weather around the country and around the world. As a direct result of this disruption in the polar vortex, we got strong high pressure that is about to form this week over Greenland. Why does that matter to us? Well, it's going to be blocking storms from taking a fast, easy track from northern Canada to Europe. And if the storms aren't going to go west to east, well, they're going to go south. And in this particular case, south is right over the Pacific Northwest. One of the reasons we're staying cold in the week ahead. If we keep moving forward in time, we're going to see that high pressure stays right over the top of the United States, and it's actually not going to fully go away until the middle of this month. So as long as this pattern sticks around, it is unlikely we are going to see any meaningful turn towards warmer spring-like temperatures. So how long could this end up lasting? Well, if you go by the folks at the Climate Prediction Center, who are a lot smarter than I am in this department, well, we could end up staying colder than normal even into the last week of the month. Let's just don't cross our fingers that it was warm up after that and we don't end up like last year and have that snow in April. That was a bit of a shock. So anyway, we'll see what happens. And 4 News Now, we'll be back right after this break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team
is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Spokane Hope Center for children born deaf and hard of hearing. They've got the kids. They don't have the room. We're expanding their theater of operations, refreshing offices, and it's all going to happen at the end of the month. The 4 News Now Extreme team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Tomorrow, Michael's taking you live to one of the most remote inhabited islands anywhere in the world. An island filled with mystery, beauty, and magical wonder. Easter Island Live. You're invited for the Morning Global event. Good Morning America tomorrow.
We are Heritage Funeral and Cremation. When you need us, we'll be here.
We are committed to serving your family as we would our own.
With respect, love, and compassion. Heritage is part of a local, community-owned association.
With roots going back to 1888.
And a dedication to inland Northwest families.
That we support by giving back to over 15 community organizations annually.
We're here
when you need us most.
Adventure awaits at Silver Mountain Resort this winter. Enjoy some of the best terrain in the region. Only 30 minutes east of Coeur d'Alene, right off I-90. Family, friends, and smiles as big as the wide-open vistas. Relax in a beautiful condo just a stroll away from dining, water slides, indoor surfing, and 84 degrees. And a gondola ride away from our new covered carpet lift, tubing, and acres of snow rider heaven. Your winter adventure awaits at Silver Mountain. Book today at silvermt.com.
Drive it home with the Northwest Motorsport Rig. Our great lineup of lenders are offering special APRs all month long. Enter to win daily prizes at nwmsrocks.com/win. Score big with trucks, and more trucks at Northwest Motorsport.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
It's senior night in the kennel. Right now, Drew Timme, Anton Watson, Malachi Smith, and Rozier Bolton are playing what most likely will be their last home game wearing a Bulldogs uniform. They head to Las Vegas for the WCC tournament this weekend. The Zags aren't the only ones looking to bring home the title. The Spokane Arena is hosting boys and girls teams for the State B basketball tournament. The tournament brings in the best high school teams from small towns across Washington to battle it out for the right to call themselves state champions. Our Alex Crescenti is in the arena with a little bit more on local team trying to earn their first championship. Alex.
That's right, Aaron. There are no shortage of teams in our area competing for the State B championships this week here inside the Spokane Arena. And one of those squads that may have what it takes to win the title and bring home the trophy is the Davenport boys. Now, they've never won the championship in their program's history, and they had to go through years of disappointment and rebuilding just to get to this point.
We quite honestly didn't meet expectations. We lost out in the district tournament, and so we were pretty devastated by that.
This whole summer, me and the guys, we would get in the gym, play pickup basketball, get shots up, and because we knew our senior year we have something to prove, so that's what we've been doing.
And that work in the gym was more than enough for the Davenport boys this season as they reached their first state tournament since 2010, losing just 2 games along the way. Led by a group of seniors that have played since childhood and a head coach who grew up around the game of basketball.
The guys have been really good at focusing on what they need to do to get better and what we do to be successful, and so it's been really fun to see them focus. As a bunch of seniors, they kind of can take a lot more of the responsibility and the focus.
More so, it's just one practice at a time. We have to come focused each day and work hard to be able to complete our end goal, which is the state championship.
In order to win that elusive championship, the Gorillas will rely heavily on the play of one of the region's rising stars, figuratively and quite literally.
So I started out as a 5'9" freshman. I swung on JV and varsity, and then sophomore year, all of a sudden I sprouted up to 6'3", and then it went 6'5", 6'6".
Tennessee Rainwater moved to Davenport in the 8th grade from the west side of the state. A descendant of the Cherokee Nation and son of a coach, his hope is to be playing ball at the next level. But it's just a bit harder to get noticed in a community of less than 2,000 people. And it's not like there's too many AAU teams in the area.
But I get it, like I'm kind of in the country in Davenport, so sometimes it's hard to for coaches to find me. But if you go to small school, you can still be seen. And I feel like as long as you play as a team, things can happen. If you have a good relationship with your guys, great things will happen.
While there are plenty of individual accolades surely coming from members of this team, those aspirations take a backseat this week as the focus shifts towards finishing their journey and bringing home the championship trophy. We walk out on that court in the Spokane Arena. What are you expecting? Are you going to have jitters? What are you thinking?
It's just going to be a fun environment. You know, I strive for moments like those, and also just to play with the guys. I think it's going to be a really special experience.
I'm sure I'll be somewhat nervous, but I just want to soak it all in and do it best I can.
It's a crazy opportunity. I mean, I've been looking up to this moment for, I guess, since day one. We've put in the work, and I'm glad we're here.
Now, since Davenport won on Friday evening as the #1 seed in the tournament, they advance all the way to the quarterfinals and will play tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live tonight inside the Spokane Arena, I'm Alex Crescenti, 4 News Now Sports.
Alex, thank you. Well, the U.S. economy continues to give mixed signals what this rolling recession could mean for you and your wallet coming up. Plus,
a redevelopment plan that could force dozens of families out of their homes is delayed. Coming up, why people say they're more hopeful and a timeline for this project.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
At Fred Meyer, we want our fresh produce to meet your expectations, which is why we do up to a 27-point inspection to check for things like color and scarring. Because when it comes to fresh, higher standards mean fresher produce. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a heat pump with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free heat pump from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting.
I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Kylie and I are excited to show you the rugged good looks and adventurous spirit of this all-new Subaru Outback.
It has a roomy interior and almost 9 inches of ground clearance that make on- or off-road driving fun.
Plus, Subaru's legendary safety features like symmetrical all-wheel drive and EyeSight driver assist technology.
Visit ParkerSubaru.com or drop by the dealership to learn why Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 8 years running.
See the Subaru Outback and receive your no-problem customer service at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
For a limited time only, get a new John Deere 1023E compact utility tractor with a 120E loader for only $199 per month. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for low monthly payments on top-of-the-line equipment that gets the job done, backed by our consistent quality customer service. Hurry in to your local Pape Machinery Ag and Turf store today to cash in on these limited time offers and get your property ready for the spring ahead. Pape keeps you moving.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Fred Meyer, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
4 News Now is brought to you by Silver Mountain Resort in Kellogg, Idaho.
New at 6. As the U.S. economy continues to give mixed signals, more economists are describing this uncertain time as a rolling recession. CNN's Karen Kafa explains what this means for you and your wallet.
Economic data has been on a seesaw. Positive indicators like a historically low unemployment rate countered by negative numbers like a 6-month housing sales slump.
It's hard to understand today's economy because there's so many mixed signals.
Economists have been using the term rolling recession more frequently. Sungwon Son, professor of finance and economics at Loyola Marymount University, says that means certain sectors seeing downturns at different times without the overall economy slumping.
We take turns going down, beginning with the housing, next consumers, and then businesses, and et cetera.
For example, the U.S. still saw economic growth in the final quarter of 2022, and year-over-year consumer price inflation eased last month. But housing prices and manufacturing have sunk, and there have been mass layoffs in the tech and media industries. Joanne Weiner of George Washington University says unevenness is normal for a large and diverse economy, especially coming out of a traumatic event like the COVID-19 pandemic.
Different areas will have different pressures on them over time.
As to whether a broad recession is ahead, Sohn says that may depend upon how consumers respond to the economic headlines.
How consumers behave in coming months and quarters, that is really the critical element of the economic outlook.
To prepare for any economic outcome, experts say households should pay down high-interest debt as the Federal Reserve uses interest rate hikes to tame inflation and streamline spending to build emergency savings in case of a layoff. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Spokane Valley is joining the fight to address the housing crisis. The timeline for their regional effort to address homelessness coming up.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses? See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
When you pull up in a brand new $85,000 GMC Sierra Denali, neighbors are going to notice, especially Gary. Don't make this weird, Gary. It's the Spring Into a Sierra giveaway at Northern Quest. Now through March 30th, play daily with your Cameras Rewards card, and you could have a brand new, fully loaded GMC Sierra in your driveway come spring. Details at northernquest.com.
You want the best selection of trucks? We got them! Looking for sporty, fun SUVs? We got those too! If you're looking for a great deal on a new set of wheels, come on out to Cal!
You want it? Cal's got it!
Well, March means a lot is happening in the forecast. You can trust Mark Peterson and the First Alert Weather Team to help you plan ahead. And we'll wrap up Inlander Restaurant Week with a visit to a first-timer in Casa Restaurant and Tap House. That's tomorrow on a Good Morning Northwest starting at 5.
Living in the Inland Northwest has its advantages, and one of those is working with amazing people who dedicate their time and efforts to help others. STCU's Volunteers Count is a program to say thank you for this service and inspire others to give back too. Please tell us about a volunteer at a local nonprofit that inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate them. Help us showcase those people who give of their time and truly make a difference. Volunteers Count, brought to you by 4 News Now and STCU.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
The world's oldest animals. Next, Inside Edition, the 512-year-old shark, the 190-year-old tortoise. This dog is the equivalent of 270 human years. And you won't believe how old this llama is.
He's amazing. He's so king.
Then, the Alec Murdaugh double murder trial. What happened when the jurors visited the dog kennel crime scene? Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
When you think about homelessness in the region, Camp Hope may be the first thing that comes to mind. But while the camp is shrinking, homelessness remains a big issue throughout Spokane County. After Tuesday night's Spokane Valley City Council meeting, the region is now one step closer to creating a regional authority to address homelessness. Bronte Saratsky joins us live in studio with how the recent vote from the Valley City Council is helping things move forward. Bronte.
Well, during Tuesday night's council meeting, Spokane Valley decided to join the city of Spokane and the county in discussions to create a regional and collaborative way to address homelessness. They'll have a 90-day due diligence period to get this done, with the hopes to create a system to tackle homelessness and housing throughout the county.
I think this is an issue that it impacts us, and
I'd welcome being a part of that.
6 out of 7 Spokane Valley Council members agreed to join forces with the city of Spokane and the county to create a regional plan addressing homelessness.
It's been a long time since we've had all 3 jurisdictions coming together with that kind of unanimity on an important issue like this.
Now that they have, the regional homelessness effort can get underway.
So the next steps are really determining exactly how do we do that.
In about 2 weeks, a 90-day due diligence period will kick off. During that time, the city, county, and valley will work on a plan that focuses on combining everyone's resources.
How to piece it together at the jurisdictions, the city, the county, primarily in the valley, but then working with the providers themselves and saying, how do we create that one plan that we can all come together on?
Although the Spokane Valley City Council agreed to work on this regional plan to create a regional system, they are working on homelessness within their city limits, as well as exploring the options of a regional approach.
You know, our goals aren't the same. From our housing program, we have, you know, one of our goals is to explore areas where, and I'm quoting, where consolidation could provide greater effectiveness or efficiencies as we continue to develop our own plan, which I'm 100% for.
During those 90 days, the housing effort will work on building leadership consisting of a board of directors and a CEO, while working with local providers, businesses, and community members.
The idea is that if we come together and work off the same plan and enhance the resources going into it, that we can actually manage homelessness very effectively.
Once it's created, those board members and other leadership will work to guide the effort to tackle homelessness throughout the county. Now, it's estimated that an outline for this plan should be ready in about 3 months. The city of Spokane Valley is still working on addressing homelessness in their own city, and it'll be looking for public feedback on their draft plan a week from today. Live in studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
We do have some good luck, at least here in Spokane, with the conjuncture of Venus and Jupiter right there. You can see it. We have just enough clearing. Can we take that full, Darren, so you can see that those 2 tiny little planets up on the far right-hand side of your screen? That is exciting. It's 33 degrees. It is cloudy, but we've got just enough of a break in the overcast to enjoy that planetary display. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Some light snow overnight. It's going to be a slick morning commute with a rain-snow mix, possibly even some graupel showers in the afternoon. A windy day with wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Our forecast radar shows that snow moving into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area in the very early morning hours. Less than an inch of accumulation by the morning commute, might even get some breaks. It will be turning into more of a rain-snow mix in the afternoon, but continuing as snow through noon. That is when the winter weather advisory expires for the Northeast Mountains and North Idaho. 1 to 3 inches of snow left behind, up to 2 inches of snow in Coeur d'Alene. The advisory continues all the way through Friday evening for the central panhandle. Thursday planner, a windy day, a high temperature of 40 degrees. Those 2 factors will melt some snow. In fact, we may end up with a net loss, even putting down a little bit of fresh snow in the morning. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast, plus it's Wildlife Wednesday in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. TikTok announced a new way to prevent your teens from endlessly scrolling on its app. The social media company saying in the next few months, accounts for users under 18 will default to a 1-hour screen limit. Once that time is up, teens will have to enter a passcode to stay on the app. It's important to note that this feature can be turned off. Parents or caregivers will be able to filter videos with words or hashtags they don't want to appear in their teen's feed. Apps like TikTok have become a part of your child's everyday life. Lawmakers want to hold these tech companies accountable by finding out exactly what type of data they're tracking and how they use it to keep your kids online.
All are under assault from people knowing a lot of information about us, collecting that just because of our browsing habits.
It's just not a fair fight to figure out how to protect our kids online.
Your lawmakers say they have heard your concerns. To see what Congresswoman Cathy McMorris Rodgers and Senator Maria Cantwell want to change, look for this story on KXLY.com. Also on KXLY Plus and our YouTube page, you can find even more videos on how social media can be impacting your child's self-esteem and actually rewiring their brains. Well, new at 6:30, a new report found that the gender pay gap hasn't narrowed much in the last 20 years. Analysis from the Pew Research Center shows women made 82 cents for every dollar a man earned last year. That's just 2 cents more than in 2002. Although it's a leap from 65 cents that was the average in 1982. Pew notes women's pay has been stuck even as they outpace men in educational qualifications. Part of the issue appears to be that women are overrepresented in lower paid occupations. A controversial redevelopment proposal for 17 acres in Cheney is on hold now. The City Council is asking for additional information for people who live in the North Cheney Mobile Home Park. If the project gets approved, it would change the zoning of the mobile home park into space for apartments. Peter Choi has reaction from the mobile home park community on how the City Council is buying them more time.
A battle to save homes at a North Cheney Mobile Home Park continues. People who live here tell me they're more optimistic as the City Council calls to delay a redevelopment plan. But they're still worried about where they will go if the land is approved for redevelopment.
Where are we going to go? Are we going to go live in the field? Are we going to go to Spokane and get a tent?
A North Cheney Mobile Home Park resident Douglas Brunel is more hopeful as the City Council decided to delay a redevelopment proposal Tuesday night.
Because the City Council expressed a lot of concern for the residents of the mobile home park. About 100 of us.
It's being delayed because of a lack of information on a relocation plan. Under the state law of Title 59 RCW, if a mobile home park is closed, relocation assistance is available for residents.
If the property owner comes back with a relocation plan for you guys, would you be willing to move?
If there was a place to move my home, I would be willing to move.
Living in the same home for 22 years, Pedro Torres welcomes this news.
If I don't have no choice, I got to do it. So, but my priority is for all the people they're not ready to. I'm not ready to move. But if he support all the move stuff and all the move and whatever, well, let's talk about it.
Cheney City Planner Brett Lucas says they're waiting to get additional information.
Right now, we do not have a definitive timeline from the applicant or the property owner.
So what's next for this project?
If we have enough stuff available for the next meeting on the 14th, we'll try to discuss it. If we don't, and we need more time, then we'll bring it on the 28th. So it really just depends on how fast we can get answers to the questions.
We reach out to the property owner, but have not heard back yet. In Cheney, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Mark Peterson and the Extreme team are hard at work expanding one local center that's been giving children the gift of hearing for more than 20 years. What still needs to be done before tomorrow's big reveal? Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Car Wash Plaza.
Hi, I'm Ron.
And I'm Shelley.
At Rosenberger Construction, we build some of the most beautiful custom homes in North Idaho.
Like our spectacular spec home, now for sale at the club at Rock Creek, Coeur d'Alene's newest private golf course filled with stunning natural beauty. Our custom homes are furnished and designed with you in mind.
For our clients looking for that unique, one-of-a-kind piece of furniture, we always recommend Consign Furniture in Liberty Lake.
From great rooms to dining rooms to master suites, Consign Furniture is sure to turn any house into a home.
Every Saturday in March, you can shoot baskets for cash.
The more baskets you make, the more cash you win.
All winners have 1 minute to make as many baskets as possible.
The player with the highest score of the night wins even more cash.
Make baskets to earn your share of up to $26,000 cash.
More baskets, more cash for you.
Earn entries now playing your favorite games with your Sun Club card.
Get in the game at Chihuahua Casino.
Feel more connected to every fleeting moment. The Mazda CX-30 with available turbo engine. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. More power for your pursuit.
Embrace every unexpected turn in the all-wheel drive Mazda CX-30. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
Spokane Hope Center for children born deaf and hard of hearing. They've got the kids. They don't have the room. We're expanding their theater of operations, refreshing offices, and it's all going to happen at the end of the month. The 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Granite Concepts. Beauty set in stone.
Janine, my students are with Mural Arts, deciding their legacy. Let's go!
I was looking for a new paint color for my bathroom downstairs.
Where?
Shut up, Janine.
I'm Jacob.
Wildlife Wednesday time, and boy, here's a detour. I don't think you would want to drive your car through these fellas. Ken Bonner shared this amazing photo of a bighorn ram roadblock, and they are certainly blocking the road there for Ken. Thanks, Ken. Kazu Crumplement shared this photo from her Post Falls backyard. Beautiful female red-shafted northern flicker in flight. Fantastic, such beautiful birds. And from our friend Mark Boat, a southern Washington fox. Mark, I think most of his photos coming from North Idaho. He was in southern Washington where there's a lot less snow, and he saw this beautiful fox, good, healthy looking fox, wandering about. Funny look on his face. I'm not sure what that is. Thanks, Mark. All right, let's talk about snow on the way tomorrow. Our forecast radar shows that snow coming in the early morning hours across the region. Light snow for the morning commute that will continue through mid-morning. Here's 8 a.m. with that snow. Keep on going. Then more of a rain-snow mix or showery mix of rain, snow, and graupel in the afternoon behind the front. For the morning commute, snowfall totals will be fairly light. We're looking at less than an inch in most locations. Here's 6 a.m. Then where we go from there is tricky because we are warming up above freezing. So many locations will actually see a decrease in snow. We'll lose what we put down and then some of what's already on the ground. But in North Idaho, it's going to be tricky. Here's noon, and we're over an inch in Coeur d'Alene, over 3 in Sandpoint. Some of the higher totals are going to be found in North Idaho and, of course, over the passes. Heavy snow over the mountains by 5 o'clock tomorrow. Again, a lot of these numbers may be moot because we'll be melting snow faster than we can put it down. Meanwhile, wind gusts will be picking up in the afternoon. We are going to see some of our highest wind gusts peaking around 2 o'clock. Here's 8 a.m. with 25-mile-per-hour gusts. The strongest gusts around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I will be back with your 7-day forecast at the end of the broadcast. Aaron?
Chris, thank you.
Hope for deaf kids really is the only hope in our area. There is nothing else. Especially for kids his age. If it wasn't for Hope, he wouldn't be receiving any kind of help, frankly. And it's been life-changing for him and for us as a family.
Jim Matthews says his son Xavier couldn't hear the people or the world around him for the first 3 years of his life. After being diagnosed as deaf, Matthews says he was immediately hooked up with Spokane Hope Center, which specializes in technology and education for the deaf and hard of hearing. A year later, Xavier is using a cochlear implant and sign language to listen and communicate. The Hope Center is the focus of the latest Extreme Team project. Mark Peterson and the team are one step closer to the big reveal. Today, the thank you wall is being worked on. Mark explains why it's so important to the Hope Center.
So we're almost to the reveal day, and someone who's not been allowed to watch any social media, has not been allowed to watch TV, is the one and only Danette Driscoll, our executive director of Spokane Hope Center. Now, we've got new film on the windows that keeps the heat out and no one can see in. What do you think about those?
Well, first of all, it's wonderful because I don't have air conditioning and the heat was really hot in the summer here.
Okay.
You know weather.
Oh, I know. And you have all new lighting throughout the entire building. What do you think about that?
I thought that it was my eyes because I'm old, but actually, no, the light is so much better for the kids and the learning environment. It's actually even calmer for them to be able to see easily.
All right, so here's the bottom line. We got a lot of people in the back working on a room that she has not seen. What are you most excited about? Is there a most excited part?
It started with an empty warehouse that has a garage door in it, and it needs to be a place where our families can come together and meet other families raising children with hearing loss. And this is something that we had envisioned when we first moved into this building a couple of years ago, but we didn't know how it would ever happen.
All right, well, the Extreme team and all of the subs, all of our wonderful community companies have come together. We've been talking about them, and again, we've been showing you some of the work going on throughout this piece. The bottom line is all of this heart and love is going into the reveal day tomorrow. We're still not done. We have lots of work. So we hope you join us. I'm Mark Peterson for the Extreme team for News Now.
And here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
So we recently partnered up with Ben Gregg of the Gonzaga Bulldogs to help us spread the word about our Zags Win, You Win promotion. And next time I'll bet he'll read the fine print.
It's not all bad. Turns out I have a natural talent for heating and cooling. Zags win, you win.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in concert. Relive the adventure of Harry and his friends as a live symphony orchestra performs John Williams' unforgettable score with the full movie projected on the big screen. Don't miss this magical live concert event of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in concert.
Second show added. Get your tickets now at ticketswest.com.
Drive it home with the Northwest Motorsport Rig. Our great lineup of lenders are offering special APRs all month long. Enter to win daily prizes at nwmsrocks.com/win. Score big with trucks, and more trucks at Northwest Motorsport.
Vroom, vroom. Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure to leave plenty of space when I pass by. I think 200 feet is right here.
Thank you. That looks safe to me.
And if I can't move over, I promise I'll slow down at least 10 miles an hour below the speed limit or no more than 50 miles an hour.
You promise?
Promise.
We want everyone to get home at the end of the day. When you see vehicles with flashing lights or people working on the side of the road, move over or slow down.
YWCA's 41st Women of Achievement Luncheon is March 9th at the Davenport Grand. We will be celebrating 9 amazing women of achievement and the Y's 120 years of service in Spokane. Visit ywcaspokane.org for virtual tickets.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team is brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Around the world tonight, a head-on train collision in Greece killed at least 36 people and hurt 85 others. Multiple cars derailed in the overnight crash and some burst into flames. Greek police say a station master is under arrest. ABC's Lindsay Watts has more.
Officials in Greece continue to comb through wreckage of this deadly head-on train crash. Overnight, a freight train collided with a passenger train near Tempe, north of Athens. About 350 people were aboard the passenger train, and we've learned many were students returning from the country's carnival celebrations. This passenger narrowly escaped. A fire had erupted next to us. This man here, he saw a hole, so we managed to get out from where we were. Greek police say a station master has been arrested. The government declaring 3 days of national mourning, the prime minister visiting the crash scene and vowing to find the causes of this tragedy and ensure it never happens again. Emergency responders now using cranes and heavy equipment to move the mangled rail cars. Dozens of people remain hospitalized, including some with critical injuries. Passenger Sturgis Menenis describing the crash. There was panic for 10, 15 seconds. It was chaos. People screaming, people trapped. The station master who was arrested hasn't been identified yet. The Greek transportation minister has also resigned over this crash. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
In the U.S., some lawmakers on Capitol Hill have introduced a bill to prevent another toxic train derailment like the one in East Palestine, Ohio. The bill would change requirements for trains carrying hazardous materials and make sure local emergency responders know what's coming through their communities. The bill would also set train crews at a 2-person minimum and require long-haul railroads to pay for hazardous material training for local first responders. The bill introduced one day after another derailed in Florida. Officials say the train was carrying 30,000 gallons of liquid propane. So far, there has been no leakage. Evacuations could be ordered if that changes.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
R&R RV Center is your Van World Superstore. Solus, Travato, Echo, Revel, and more. Choose from front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or 4x4. And bring your trade. R&R RV wants your boat, your Harley, your old RV. Van World at R&R RV Center in Liberty Lake and North Spokane. Or shop now at rnrrv.com. Eastern Washington's largest RV dealer.
From R&R RV, your RV Superstore.
We celebrate our 28th anniversary the same way any self-respecting casino would, by giving you a shot at $28,000. Qualify all month long with hot spins and super spins for your shot at the cash on April 1st. Anniversary specials for midweek rooms at the Kootenai Falls Lodge are just $59 or $89 for Riverview rooms. Grab some anniversary cash at the Kootenai Casino and book your March getaway. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
Feel more connected to every fleeting moment. The Mazda CX-30 with available turbo engine. An IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. More power for your pursuit.
Embrace every unexpected turn in the all-wheel drive Mazda CX-30. We have over 60 Mazdas in stock now at Foothills Mazda. Take yours home today or visit SpokaneMazda.com.
Use me to take a bite out of food waste and help the environment.
How'd you do that?
Well, give me yard waste, food scraps, heck, even your food-soiled paper like pizza boxes, paper towels, and coffee filters. I'll take it to be composted and returned to the soil.
And we'll still be here for the rest.
Learn more at SpokaneCountySolidWaste.org.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shine 1049.
Tomorrow's going to be a wet day, especially in the morning with snow, windy conditions, a breezy Friday with just a slight chance of precipitation. A little bit better chance as we get into the second half of the weekend.
I know it's only Wednesday, but I'm definitely looking forward to that weekend.
I think so. Yeah, I think everybody is. It feels like Tuesday was about 3 days.
Record snow, now it's getting windy and breezy. We need a break already.
I think you're right. Let's just call it.
Midweek vacation.